In the year 2000, the average human attention span was 12 seconds. By 2024, it had dropped to just 8 seconds. That's less than a goldfish. And if you've ever switched to your phone mid-task and then needed 23 full minutes to refocus, you've felt this problem in your own body. Your attention isn't just scattered across tabs and notifications. It's being systematically stripped from you every single day by systems designed by some of the sharpest engineers on the planet to capture and hold it. This isn't weakness. This is your brain running software it was never designed to handle. But here's what matters. You can get it back. And the science on how to do that is clearer than it's ever been. Stay with me. Focus isn't just trying harder. It's a neurological state managed primarily by your prefrontal cortex, the most evolutionarily advanced part of your brain. The PFC handles working memory, what you're holding in mind right now, and inhibitory control, your ability to block out everything that isn't the task in front of you. When both are firing together, you enter what researchers call a flow state, a peak performance window where output quality climbs sharply and stays elevated. But here's the hidden cost. Every time you switch tasks, you leave what scientists call attention residue. A fragment of your mind stays stuck in the previous task even as you try to move on. It's like trying to write a new chapter while half your brain is still editing the last one. Every switch costs you. Every interruption compounds. This is not a discipline problem. This is neuroscience. There are 4 specific things destroying your ability to focus. And they're almost certainly all active in your life right now. Number 1, your smartphone. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day. Each check costs 23 minutes of refocus time. Do the math. Your phone, even sitting silent on your desk, reduces your available cognitive capacity. The mere presence of it is enough. Number 2, multitasking. Your brain doesn't multitask, it switches. Every switch degrades output quality and burns cognitive resources. What feels like productivity is actually fragmentation. Number 3, sleep deprivation. Even one night of poor sleep reduces prefrontal cortex function by 20%. You're trying to do precision work with a blunted instrument. Number 4, chronic stress. Sustained cortisol shrinks the PFC over time, while simultaneously strengthening the amygdala, locking your brain into threat detection mode instead of deep thinking. All 4 are operating on you right now, and they compound each other. Here's what the compounding looks like. You check your phone, sleep suffers, productivity drops, stress rises, you reach for the phone. It's a loop, a self-reinforcing cycle that gets tighter with every turn. Most people try to break it with willpower. That doesn't work. Willpower is a depleting resource, and your willpower runs on the same prefrontal cortex. The cycle is already degrading, but the brain is neuroplastic. The prefrontal cortex responds to training the way a muscle responds to progressive overload. Focus circuits that have been weakened can be rebuilt. The research is consistent. 45 days of the right protocol produces measurable PFC growth, not 45 days of trying harder. 45 days of a specific system. That's what this is. The first thing you need to understand about focus: your environment is either working for you or against you. There is no neutral. A phone physically present in your workspace, even face down, even silent, reduces your working memory and fluid intelligence. Researchers at the University of Texas proved this in 2017. Removing the phone from the room recovered the lost cognitive capacity. That's step 1. Phone out of the room, not on silent, not face down, out of the room. Step 2. Build a dedicated focus space, a location your brain learns to associate only with deep work. Step 3. Use friction. Install sight blockers. Make distraction harder than focus. You are not outsmarting your brain with willpower. You're redesigning the game so willpower doesn't have to show up at all. Environment design is the foundation. Everything else builds on it. The second part of the protocol is building your deep work capacity. The ability to focus without interruption on cognitively demanding tasks for extended periods. You start with 25 minutes. Timer on, phone out. One tab, one task. No music with lyrics. Lyrics activate language processing, splitting your attention. Every interruption resets the clock. The goal is unbroken. Week 1, 25 minutes. Week 2, 45. Week 3, 60. Week 4, 90. Progressive overload, the same principle that builds physical muscle, applied to your prefrontal cortex. At 90 minutes of unbroken deep work, when you've trained your brain to sustain it, that is when your best thinking happens. Not in 10-minute bursts between notifications, not while half monitoring a chat window. 90 unbroken minutes, that's where the real work lives, and you can get there in a month. Beyond your work sessions, 3 direct brain training practices accelerate PFC rebuilding. First, meditation. Even 5 minutes per day of breath-focused attention practice produces measurable gray matter growth in the prefrontal cortex within 8 weeks. You're not relaxing, you're doing reps. Every time your mind wanders and you bring it back, that's a focus rep. That's strengthening the inhibitory control circuit. Second, single task everything, not just your work, your life. Eat without your phone, walk without headphones, shower without planning. You're training your brain's ability to stay with one thing. You're cutting the multitasking habit at the root. Third, exercise. Aerobic exercise triggers the release of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, essentially fertilizer for your neurons. 20 to 30 minutes, 3 times a week. Move your body. Upgrade your brain. The research on this is not subtle. Every protocol in the world fails if this one isn't in place. Sleep is not passive recovery. It's when your brain consolidates memory, clears metabolic waste through the glymphatic system, and restores prefrontal cortex function for the next day. Miss sleep, and you are operating at a fundamental deficit that no amount of coffee or discipline can overcome. The data is clear. PFC function tracks sharply with sleep quality. Below 6 hours, steep decline. 7 to 9 hours, optimal range. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin production, pushing your sleep cycle later, compressing your recovery window. The non-negotiables, 7 to 9 hours, every night. No screens 60 minutes before sleep. Bedroom cool, 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Dark. And wake at the same time every morning. This anchors your circadian rhythm and makes sleep quality exponentially better. This is not optional. You cannot build a high-performance prefrontal cortex on broken sleep. Every killer has a counter. The phone hijacks your attention, so you design the environment. Multitasking fragments your PFC, so you build deep work blocks. Stress shrinks your PFC, so you meditate and single task. Sleep debt destroys your focus, so 7 to 9 hours becomes non-negotiable. 45 days. That's the research-backed timeline for measurable prefrontal cortex function improvement when you run this protocol consistently. Not 45 days of vague intention. 45 days of environment, deep work, brain training, and sleep. Stacked together every single day. You watch this to the end. That's a signal. Most people won't. Most people will go back to checking their phones in 23 seconds. But you're still here. So start today, not tomorrow, today. Peak Mind Protocol. Rewire, reclaim, perform.